I am the third born of four. I have three brothers. Growing up in a house with only boys was a bit hard. I think I might have become a tomboy because of that, a little bit anyway. My brother was diagnosed with schizoaffective disorder. And the first time my brother had an episode, I called my auntie and I told her I don't think my brother is okay. So she came over, she was like, you know what, Jackie? There's a lot we don't understand, but we need to pray. And I think she was my anchor at that time because she's a prayer warrior, can I say. So she told us, Jackie, we need to pray. We are going to take him to the hospital, but the doctors treat, but God heals. So I told a couple of friends, I confided in a couple of friends what I was going through, what we were going through at home. And I told them, we need to pray because God has the final answer to this. So we did. And in that period, it really did draw me to God closer because there was nothing else we could, depend on. As a family, they'd given us a diagnosis and it seemed bleak. So the only other option was to believe, was to have faith that he was going to get better. Because when he got his initial breakdowns, we were worried he may not get out of that phase. So what we did was pray. As he took his medication, as he continued to do what the doctors advised, we kept praying. Because they said that we're not sure how far this can go, because there's some people who can get into such episodes and not come back. So all we did was just pray and hope, because that's all we could do. And as he took his medication, we just stayed relevant, praying. And we did the same with him, because I remember that time he would slip in and out of consciousness. And he would tell me that, I'm not okay. And I'd tell him, let's pray. The beauty of all this is actually he also got closer to God because he felt that a lot of people didn't understand him and there was just one person who could. And I remember when he was giving his speech on his graduation, he said, I don't understand why I get to be like this. Because all of you have had it easy. Education-wise, all of you have had it easy. And it hasn't been for me. It takes me longer to understand things. It takes me more effort to do a whole lot. But I just have to thank God that I have reached this milestone. And everyone was so happy because, it was a miracle for us. It was a testimony for us because we had seen him, we had seen where he had come from, all his hurdles. And we can stand here and say it was his might, but in all honesty, it was God from the start because he helped him through it all. Our culture has taught us to bottle up things. Our culture has taught us to not be open and vulnerable with people. But it's okay to talk about what you're going through. It's okay not to feel your best. And you need to know that you will get out the other side, okay? But you need to put in effort, you need to put in time, and you need to be honest with yourself that I'm at a point and I'm breaking. I don't feel okay. I'm barely getting through life. And talk to someone. Talk to a specialist, talk to a friend, so that you can be able to overcome. We've been told that mental health issues are for white people. No, mental health issues are for anyone with a mind, with a brain. And when you look at the scientific evidence as well, it's changes in your physiological behavior and how things usually happen. So there's a rational explanation for things, but we need to deal with that and we need to be open about that and talk about that. As a Christian, I feel like God put it best. Jesus prayed and told God to take this cup of suffering away from him. So there was a point when he too felt low. He too felt sad and abandoned, and yet he still leaned on God, the Father. So in everything, let's just remember to lean on God. The bridge between peace and anxiety, peace and stress, peace and depression is prayer. The Bible tells us in Philippians chapter 4, verse 6 to 7, do not be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. And the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. Cast your burdens unto him. Tell him everything. But you need to come from an honest place. You need to come and tell God that I'm not okay. You don't need to hide because he already knows. And tell him how you really feel. Tell him what's going on in your life. And then pause and listen. When you pray, ask, pause, and then listen. As Christians, don't be ashamed of what you're going through. Talk to someone, and above all, talk to God.
If you have any questions about mental health, join us this Sunday, 6th June from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. with Pastor Andrew Chumuli on the Twitter Q&A.